welcome to yet another video here for the Cardboard Cave podcast. This is John, one of your hosts of this amazing podcast. If you have not yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel, stop the video, subscribe to our channel, and like the video as well if you like the video at the end. So like our content if you enjoy it. And as well, if you guys want to spice up your commanders or decks, don't forget, pass by to altersleeves.com/cardboardcave. Let you guys can support us. And as well, if you don't use the link, it's fine. Just use your code Cardboardcave and get 10% off your order. And any purchases that you do with our code will help us as well in anything and everything content related for all of you. And as well, don't forget to follow us in all of our social media, especially TikTok, that we do content every day in the daily on the dot. Now, today, we're going to be trying to build a standard deck. The standard deck is mono red Prowess. We're going to go ahead and look into it. I'm going to import the deck. I think that we can completed. I don't know where it is. Oh, here it is. So apparently we can't. We're missing 17 rares. Jesus, and we only have 7. So that's fine. I think that this deck is rotation safe. So I hope. I don't know. Mono red Prowess. It's standard. Let's get some card sleeves on it. We have to get the extra life of the new ones, so we'll get them in a bit. But for now, let's put the extra life ones from last year. Last year's extra life, I think it was this one. 2023, 2022. Yeah, these were last year's. Okay, so let's at least craft the things that we can actually craft, right? Okay, so craft mode. There we go. A hired claw. Why can't I? Ah, right, because squee, yeah. I don't get it. Why monstrous rage? Rage. Okay. Let's see, obliterating bolt. Wait. I don't like the okay, okay. What's it called? It's obliterating bolt. There we go. Torch. Okay, so in this case, we still, to finish the main deck, we need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We need 13 rares. 13 rares to finish this deck. We have 7. Ugh. Okay, so this is the reason why I want to play the new mono red deck. Let's see if I can. I want to view the deck. So, yeah, I think if I don't have it fully crafted, I'm not able to like show you guys. So, the reason why I want to build this deck and go back to standard is because one, I really do like mono red. Mono red is a deck that I've run countless of times, but I think that the MVP is Heartfire Hero. So for 1 red, you have a mouse soldier with Valiant. And whenever Heartfire Hero becomes a target of a spell or ability you control, for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 counter on it. When he dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. The good thing is that does not target an opponent, it's each opponent, so it's a wide effect. And it's good because then you have Monstrous Rage, that it will target the creature twice. It will be target creature, then create a monster roll to it. So you will have the creature targeted twice. Then you have there was this. Then you have Rockface Village. Pay 1 and then target again to gain haste and +1. So that's good. So in a sense, if it's turn 2, right? Turn 1, you play Heartfire Hero. Let me see. Okay, yeah, so, yeah, creature spell. Oh, a creature spell. So if you turn 1, have a mountain, and we're going to change these mountains to other ones. So turn 1, mountain. Turn 1, Heartfire Hero. Turn 2, Rockface Village. If you don't have, like, a turn 2 play, like, for instance, Monastery Swiss Spear, or a Hired Claw, or any other of the cards that you have from the deck, you can give a 1/1 counter on it, because you will go ahead, tap for 1 red, and target get +1/+0, gains haste, and then you will have a 3/2 in turn 2 hitting your opponent. So it's a great opportunity as well. Being the fact that you can use this as a blocker, the bigger that you make it, the better. So if you have like Monstrous Rage and Rockface Village, even though sadly Rockface Village is a sorcery ability, but still it's a way to target it on your turn to get that counter. And you can use Heartfire Hero as a terminating, as a one-shot kill to your opponent if your opponent is in low life. The other thing that I like about the deck is Monastery Swiss Spear. It's a card that I've loved in Modern as well. Used it in some standard decks before, and as well in the other format that we have here, that it's not Alchemy, Historic. I use Monastery Swiss Spear a lot because I play, like I said, I play a lot of mono red. Why? Haste, Prowess, so you have a lot of, like, you have Shock, you have Lightning Strike. That I want to change the style of Lightning Strike. we'll change it we'll make it pretty in a second. And I like it. Plus we have Emberheart Challenger that as well is a haste prowess creature 2/2, and it has Valiant as well. Whenever it becomes target of a spell or ability for the first time each turn, exile the top card of your library. Until end of turn, you may play that card. So this card gives you an additional card, and this card is good for the late game. And I don't mean like actual late game. You're not. Let me see if So if you don't target it, it's fine. But one of the things that I like about Emberheart Challenger is the fact that if you're attacking with Emberheart and you're attacking with Monastery Swift Spear, they besides the fact that they both have prowess, so you can cast Monstrous Rage or you can cast any of the removal spells. They both get +1/+1 because of the cast. And as well, let's say for instance that you use the Valiant ability and you exile, let's say, another shock or a Monstrous Rage, you can go ahead and activate it if you have the mana, make Emberheart Challenger bigger, and as well of making it bigger, you'll have Monastery Swift Spear have an additional +1/+1 because of the cast. So I would call it a good synergy with those two cards. Now, Hired Claw. Whenever you attack with one or more lizards, Hired Claw deals 1 damage to target opponent. I like the card because, again, it's a 1-drop, 1/2. It has a big butt, so that means that at least it can withstand 1/1s. And it deals damage if you have multiple ones in the game. As well, it has another ability that you pay for 2 mana. You can put a 1/1 counter on Hired Claw. Activate only if an opponent lost life this turn, and only once each turn. This card is really good. Why? Because in turn 3, let's say that Hired Claw is the card that you have on board. In turn 3, you can attack with Hired Claw, or if you have a shock or a I wouldn't say lightning strike because we're talking about turn 3. So if you have a shock or a Monstrous Rage, I think my bad. Shock. If you have a shock, you'll shock your opponent, and with the additional 2 mana, you can go ahead and put a counter on it, and it will become a 2/3. So you will have a bigger creature, quote unquote, turn 3, and as well, it will help you out for later in the game. And if you do have like turn 1 Hired Claw, turn 2 Hired Claw is good because you can attack, and in this case, both of them will trigger because you're attacking whenever you attack with 1 or more. So that means that they will both trigger, and you'll be doing roughly 4 damage if none of the creatures have been blocked. So that is a good win-win situation here. Now, Manifold Mouse. So 2-drop, 1/2 with Offspring. I love the Offspring mechanic. So if you guys know, Offspring is that you may pay an additional 2 as you cast this spell. If you do, you can create a 1/1 copy of it, and it has a nice ability that at the beginning of combat on your turn, target mouse you control gains your choice of Double Strike or Trample. So imagine that you have Manifold Mouse and you have Emberheart Challenger. So you have a free target right there. So you attack with Manifold Mouse, you target Emberheart. Emberheart has the Valiant ability. You will exile a card from the top of your library, and let's say that card could be Monstrous Rage, Shock, any of the at least instant spells. You have an additional way to at least hit your opponent for a good chunk of damage, being the fact that as well Emberheart Challenger prowess. So just imagine the fact it's the beginning of combat, you target Emberheart, you give Emberheart Double Strike. But if you do have the copy of Manifold Mouse, so you have 2 triggers, so you will trigger to give Emberheart Challenger Double Strike and then Trample. So you can actually do a lot of damage in that turn when you attack. So it is I would say it's a win for you. So The good thing about this mono red deck is that it's not red deck wins. It's not the whole fact that you put creatures and attack quickly, even though you do have Monastery Swiftspear with haste, Emberheart Challenger with haste. Let's see. Squee has haste. Godric has haste. You do have a couple of creatures that have haste, but the main ones don't. So this is just more of a thinking game of how you are going to be using your spells and how are you going to be stacking them in a way that you can have the most, how can I say it, how the most possible, I'm not gonna say combo because it's not combo, but the most way that you can use your cards, like that you can have a big hit on that turn. So in this case, this deck makes you actually think how to play your cards, and I really do like it. For Godric, I'm really aiming the fact that I would try to remove Godric and play one of the Dustmorn, the red Dustmorn card. I don't remember the name of the card, but the boiler, it's one of the creatures that's 4/4, and it's an enchantment. You can play it with the other cost for 4 mana instead of paying 6. So I've been thinking about like removing Godric and putting him in the game, because yes, Godric is a 3-drop 3/3 that has haste and has celebration. As long as 2 or more non-land permanents enter the battlefield under your control this turn, Godric Cloaked Revealer is a dragon with base power and toughness 4/4, and it has Shivan's Dragon's ability. That's fine, but imagine that you have a 6-drop that can be played on turn 4. It will destroy something or hit 4 damage to your opponent, and then in the next couple of turns you will have a bigger creature with haste, not with haste, but at least it can attack that turn, and when it attacks it does more damage. So I don't know, it's just an idea. It's just an idea because the only other 4-drop that we have here is Witch Stalker Frenzy that deals 5 damage to target creature, and it has for each creature that attack this turn. It's a fine card. I'm not saying this is the greatest one. I think that there is other cards that we can play. The other thing that we can do in this deck is that we have a total of 18, 19, 20, 21 lands. So I think that we can cut a mountain and put probably, let's say, I wouldn't put another Manifold Mouse, but I would play maybe an additional Obliterating Bolt, or play an additional removal, another removal spell or something like that. It could be a little bit much more consistent, because here in our sideboard we do have Lithomaniac Barrage, deals 1 damage to target creature or planeswalker, deals 5 damage instead if that target is white or blue. That's fine. Torch Tower deals 2 damage. It has Bargain. You may sacrifice an artifact or enchantment or token. Like that, we can do the other ability that it's deals 3 damage to that permanent and you scry 1. And it has the Magma Spray effect that if it's destroyed by damage with this permanent, it will be exiled. We have a Case of Crimson Pulse. When it enters the battlefield, discard a card, then draw 2 cards. To solve is no cards in hand, and if you solve it at the beginning of your upkeep, discard your hand and then draw 2 cards. So in quote-unquote theory, next every upkeep you will be able to draw 2 cards if you have no cards in hand. We have Obliterating Bolt once again, and we have Pyroclasm. That's technically a quote-unquote board wipe. Then we have Urbrask Forge. This is a card that I really do like. Urbrask Forge is a 3-drop that at the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on Urbrask Forge. Then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters. It is a great card because I have not yet seen the meta, but if there is decks that prevent us to play creatures. We can at least have always a creature in game that at least can have a good power. Toughness, in toughness wise, bad, but it has trample and haste. So it is a win-win situation, at least for you as the player, because you'll have a creature, you'll have a body, and it can attack that turn and it will have trample. So that's one of the win-win situations with at least Urbrask Forge. So I say it's a good card, probably depending on the situation that you are at in game, or depending on the meta. And I have not yet studied the meta, and I will study the meta to see how we will sideboard. Obviously, I think that in terms of sideboarding, Squee is the one that I would like mostly remove. But it all depends. Again, it all depends on the meta. So, guys, tell me in the comments below, would you play Mono Red Prowess in this meta? I know it's not one of the top decks right now, but at least for my style of play, I really do like the deck. The deck seems a lot of fun. I will work hard to finish the deck. We're still missing 10 cards, but being the fact that we will be doing more videos in regards to doing a couple of the events. So let's see if we can find these cards maybe in the draft or opening booster packs like that. We can go ahead and make our goal to get have that standard deck. And I am on my way to build this deck in physical form, because I really do want to play it as well in my local game store. So nothing, guys. I hope you guys like this video of this deck that we're going to be building, the Mono Red Prowess for standard. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Comment below your thoughts about the deck and what deck you will be building as well in this new meta. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to follow us in all of our social media, as well in TikTok. We're about to reach 3,000 followers. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like that we can give you more content for you guys in the future. So see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.